Love you very much. Happy Mother's Day.
I love you, Mom, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Ma. Kevin, number 3. Love you.
Happy Mother's Day. You know we love you.
I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you very much.
Hi, Vavo. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Vava. I love you and miss you so much.
Stories with Vavo. Stories with Vavo. Listen to them all. We got those stories with Vavo. She was born in Budapest, and her stories are the best. Vavo. And she'll never stop talking.
Welcome back to Stories with Vava. We have a very special edition today. It's actually a Stories for Vava edition. I came up with the idea just to have a little bit of fun with my brothers and, at least 2 of the grandchildren, where I asked everyone to come up with their own favorite story about growing up with Vava. Most people don't have the privilege as we did to grow up with such a wonderful person in our lives. So it's just a nice little time for us to acknowledge some of these funny stories and touching stories too. So it is a special Mother's Day edition, and we hope you enjoy it. So I sent the message out earlier this week, and I'm recording this now. It's Thursday, May 8th, just before Mother's Day. So we're trying to cram all this together before we head into the weekend. It's a lot different doing this solo because you know how great a storyteller Mom is. So we're all going to try and do our best and make sure we give you something worthwhile to listen to as well. So first up, we have my brother Mark, and he's got a little story for us. And one thing you need to know about Mark is that he has one of the kindest hearts you'll ever know, but he does take it personally when Mom pays attention to another brother at different times. So you'll hear a reference to my Jimmy in his story, which relates to a time when Jimmy was living out in BC, and we decided to surprise Mom, or he decided to surprise Mom at a family function. I can't remember what it was. And then when he showed up, Mom was so surprised and just so happy that she was able to see her son that had been away for so long, and just broke down in tears crying, "My Jimmy, my Jimmy, my Jimmy." So Mark got a little jealous with that, so he keeps bringing it up for Mom whenever he gets a chance to. It's all in good fun, of course. So anyway, without further ado, here's Uncle Mark, as we call him, or just Mark.
Hello, Mother, or Vava, however you like to do it. This is your first eldest son, or at least I thought I was until you outed me to the world and said Danny was first in your broadcasts. I'm sure my story will not be as eloquent as your My Jimmy's, but it is from the heart. I honestly had a tough time figuring out a memory that would stick out. There were quite a few, but none of them seem really big for telling stories about. I thought maybe I'd talk about Bosun's nuts, but that's a short story. So I thought I'd move on. I think the best one to bring out is to show our love for our mother, even though she tortured us so much. I'm thinking back to those years when you gave us all these wonderful white wool sweaters, wonderful patterns on them. I must admit that we all looked good in them, but they were as itchy as heck. But you wouldn't believe that they were itchy. It was so itchy to the point that I remember I used to put Kleenex underneath the collar so it wouldn't rub up against my neck. But we would wear them because if we didn't, we might have gotten the shoe or one of these, which people will understand if they have ever seen a visual. But we loved our mommy, and we wore the sweaters. And it wasn't until, years later, that you found out that wool was very itchy from a doctor for us boys, and you felt bad. But we still loved you, and we wore it anyway. Anyway, that's the one that sticks out in my mind for now, other than, as you're saying, driving along with Amy in the car, and she asking why that plane was so slow. But that's another story. Love you very much. Happy Mother's Day. Have a great one. Come to hug you soon.
So I did ask when I sent the message out to the brothers to see if any of the grandchildren or spouses would like to contribute as well. Of course, it's kind of tough on short notice and everybody's lives are pretty busy. But Mark did have this other story that he wanted to relay from Lori.
This time I'm just relating a memory from your first daughter-in-law who refuses to speak on the machine. And I'll get hit for that, but I deserve it. Only that she was getting used to when we were first married and at our wedding had to put up with this family. Coming from a very, shall we say, English and proper family for the most part, to putting up with all our wonderful raucousness that we had. Anyway, her best memory is the time when you pulled her away during the wedding at the reception and said to her, "I have him well trained, don't fuck it up." I can speak from experience that she did not.
Well, I can also vouch for Lori in that she's kept Mark very well trained. Brings us to number 2. I'm just going to keep going in birth order here. So number 2, for those who don't know, is Danny. And Dan surprised me because he doesn't normally come out and talk about anything. And definitely not in front of people. So for him to come out of his comfort zone and do something like this is really quite spectacular.
Hi, Mom. It's me, Dan. We decided to do a few things for Mother's Day and pass on a few stories for you. So I got a few to share. My first thoughts come with your faith and how it meant a lot to you and Dad at the time when I had asked Heidi to marry me, and we went, we came to you and we were talking about getting married in a Lutheran church, and obviously that didn't go over so well. Just showing the strength you have in your beliefs and your religion, and I felt that over the years. Heidi, with a good soul she was, converted to Catholic, and we raised our children in the Catholic faith. And not to say that we're the most practicing Catholics now, but I do pray in a different way. So I just let you know that you were a good push, I guess, or a good support to our lives and getting our family rolling. The second story is actually before that, but it is a little testament as to what how the Lord works in different ways. I can remember in college. And the whole 2 months of college that I attended. But I was with a buddy in one of my classes, and we kind of cut class that morning and had lunch at his place, and coming back in the afternoon to college, he had a hockey practice at the arena, so he was a little bit late, so he asked me to go park his car. So I took the car around the arena out at Conestoga College, and I was going a little bit quick. It was rainy, and actually went off the road, right in the parking area with his car. So I was over the curb and into the cabbage. Anyway, needless to say, I wasn't feeling the best, and considerably worried. I was safe, thank God. But I remember getting home, and I remember telling you the story and what happened, and you said to me, and I still remember to this day, like you said, I knew something was wrong. So there's a little bit of a connection there to show that something does exist, that the Lord is there and is looking after everybody, and the strength of a mother and child. You wouldn't believe the connection and how you can sense when things aren't right. So, love you. And one last story for you. It was the it was the night we went to meet Heidi's parents when we were engaged. It was our first dinner. We went to Heidi's mom and dad's place, and we sat down for dinner, had a nice meal, and enjoyed the evening. Things were going great, and I remember you got up and went to the bathroom, and Dad and I sat there awkwardly, quiet, not much being said at the table. And in their house, the dining room was just a short hop from the bathroom. And all of a sudden, she seemed to still have the issue. But I believe you farted louder than you ever farted before. And the classic line when you came back to the dining room was the first question you asked, was there any trains nearby? So it was very, very hard to hold a straight face after what we had just heard in the living room. And hard to believe that you actually heard a train from that bathroom. But anyway, it's just a funny story for you. I love you, Mom, and happy Mother's Day.
It was one of the classics of the time. I do believe Mom still believes there was a train somewhere in the distance that she heard, and the coincidence was just uncanny. Thanks for doing that, Dan. I think everyone could probably agree that we're usually all pretty fine until we see Danny crying. Which brings us to our next softie, which is number 3, Kevin. Now, if there was any mischief ever in the household, it usually centered around Kevin. And I think you'll hear that in the story he has to share.
Hi, Mama. Kevin, son number 3. Some of my favorite memories, ironically, are times when we were tormenting you. We had the incident where you had ladies over for tea, and I did something wrong, apparently. And you went to give me a little cuff on the head, and I dove like a professional stuntman into the door and then slid down the stairs. And then my loving brothers were downstairs yelling, "Mom just kicked Kevin down the stairs." Also the time when Danny lied down at the bottom of the tree, and we ran to the house. Mom, Dan fell out of the tree. I think he's dead." And you went running, and Dan looked up and went, "Gotcha!" And I believe he wished he was dead after that. Love you tons. Thank you for always being there when I have need for recipe instructions and I'm making beef stew or casola, and for being my Edith and I your Archie. All right, love you, Mom.
I absolutely love it when Mom and Kevin sing the theme from All in the Family. We always loved singing songs and being part of our gatherings where we just sing silly songs and try and remember lyrics. And if we can't, we just go right into the Swedish Chef. If you were at my mom's 21st birthday, we did this song, and Mom has always asked me to record it for her, but I've never really taken the time to put it down. I couldn't get all my brothers together, so I had to sing all the parts myself. To put it in context, we make fun of my mom because she used to stick her arm out like she was going to punch us, and her elbow's got this really funny angle because it's double jointed, and she'd put her fist out and say, "You want one of these?" And she's always been joking about that when she says that, and gets us to laugh. But we always made it sound like she was doing it on purpose, or she was this mean old mom. Nothing could be further from the truth. So anyway, for this song, I have basically wrote a parody of a parody from the Frantics, and I hope I don't get in trouble for playing it. But it's just bad enough to be good, and just good enough not to be embarrassing too much. So I hope you enjoy it.
You know, some people say we're mama's boys. That's right. They've seen us out there shaking at the knees. Have you seen my mama? There's no denying it's true. Because between me and you still can get one of these. That's right. Now I thought she raised us as he-men, handsome and virile and free. But I'd rather die trying to tell her a lie, 'cause you still can get one of these. She is the greatest woman we ever met. She could shoot hoops or just shoot the breeze. And you know when she starts talking. But if you wanna start drama, watch out for my mama, 'cause you still can get one of these. I thought she raised us as he-men, handsome and virile and free. But I'd rather die than to tell her a lie, 'cause you still can get one of these.
I remember the last time I got in trouble. I was frozen. I stood there like a statue. She said, "I'm sorry, son, but you know what you've done. Now get down here so that I can hit you."
Oh man, I said no, mama, 'cause you still can't get one of these. You still can't get one of these. So I'd rather die than try to tell her a lie, 'cause you still can get one of these. That's right. Oh, great God above, it was all done in love, but you still can get one of these.
I always have a lot of fun with stuff like that. I like making the parodies and things like that. But Kevin definitely is like one of the better lyricists of the family. He can always ad-lib something while we're even just sitting around plunking on the guitars. But it brings me to Jimmy, who is probably one of our most talented musicians, or the most talented musician, and got me involved in playing guitar. And I don't think any of us have had any actual training or teaching to play. We've all just grown up with good ears and just really enjoy making the noise, I think, more than anything. So I think we can attribute that to Mom as well, because that was a big part of the Portuguese culture and even just her family's culture, and being able to sing and dance around at gatherings. Someone always had a guitar or something to play music on, and people were singing, and Vava's famous ding 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 song, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, here is number 4, My Jimmy.
Hey man, number 4 son Jim. Happy Mother's Day. You know we love you and wish we were there with you today. Uncle Phil asked us for our best and most favorite story, and I was having the hardest time because all I could think of was kicking Uncle Kevin down the stairs and whatever else, which may or may not have happened for historical sake. But the story I could come up with was the one Christmas I was 20-something, and I thought it would be a great treat to get you tickets to go see the Roger Whittaker concert that was coming to Center in the Square. Anyway, great. I gave you these lovely tickets. Thank you very much. And then promptly went away to do something else. The concert came up early in the year, and you went to do something, and I got to doing something else. And a couple days later, we said, "Oh crap, we were supposed to go see Roger Whittaker." So we missed the concert completely. You were very gracious. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye-bye.
So most people have probably heard us called Jimmy Bubba. I'm not exactly sure where the nickname came from. Probably Danny. He came up with a lot of the nicknames for us. I think I was Butch for quite some time. But yeah, Jimmy's always been a good stabilizing force for us. And, you know, you always hear it in how he talks and in his voice. And just the grounding he can bring to any situation is amazing. Which brings us to Tommy. I think many of you know that Tom has moved to Luxembourg with his family a little while ago for some employment opportunities. And we really miss him at our family functions. He has this uncanny ability to remember the lyrics to any Dr. Demento song that we try to sing while we're plunking around. Tom's also had the distinction of being the only one of us born off of the island and in the United States, which I believe gave him his interest in the military, as well as destined him to accumulate as many citizenships and titles as he possibly can.
Hi, Mom, or Vava, or Gigi, if that's how you address her. It's me, Lieutenant Lord Thomas Christopher Panshot, 5th of his name, the prodigal son, the one who keeps moving away, the one across the pond, number 5 of the 6-2+1, flashback to a 1970-something St. Francis Parish talent night and a family rendition of God Bless My Underwear and Who Put the Overalls in Mrs. Murphy's Chowder to the congregation. Father of your 14th grandbaby and your only American-born Portuguese, British, Bermudian, Canadian son of 56 years. Let me start by saying Happy Mother's Day to the greatest, most wonderful, albeit loudest and fartiest mother in the entire world, Lady Sophia Maria Teresa Paiva Cordero Pancho. I would not be half the man I am today, both in physical stature and character, without your loving care, guidance, and influence. I love you dearly. When I think back on memorable mom moments, I'm not sure what to pick out. I remember being in Boston for back surgery. My personal memory is Mom being at my side following surgery and helping me walk the halls. Every step, I would cringe and cry, "Oh, expletives," and my mom would push me through it, constantly encouraging me to go on. It was here in Boston where I was convinced that Mom knows everyone. For example, we were in the hotel restaurant and Mom heard someone speaking Portuguese. She approached the person and just started talking. Within minutes, she managed to find out that they were somehow connected back in the Azores or Bermuda. I can't remember the specifics. I can honestly say that recall memory is definitely something I did not inherit from her. Follow on to another visit to Boston for medical treatments, and Mom came down again to lend support. We took a cab to dinner one night, and of course she got to talking to the cabbie. Turns out his auntie was a nun and a teacher at Mount St. Agnes in Bermuda, and Mum remembers her by name and what classes she taught her. I have countless memories of similar situations where Mom would talk to anyone. I'm pretty convinced that if you put her in a room with 10 random people, I guarantee she will have someone in there she was either related to, went to school with, or knew via their mother's auntie's second cousin's sick grandmother who died twice over. It's uncanny. In a final anecdote, I shall ask Mom to recall Anna, our next door neighbor in Hamilton, Ontario. Anna was mad at her husband Tulio for going off to play bocce ball with his friends when dinner was ready. Anna gave Mom a huge T-bone steak, fresh off the grill, and said Tulio didn't deserve it, so Mom could give it to the dog. Mom came in, looked at me, showed me the steak, and I looked back at those loving eyes and said, "Woof." So from your European puppy dog, I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh boy. Well, this would be my spot as number 6 coming up. But as some of you may know, my 2 daughters both live away from home at this time. And we're just really now starting to feel the distance. For example, Jesse is in Michigan and Sam is in Calgary. So to come home for Mother's Day can sometimes be challenging. So when I asked everybody if they wanted to say something, both Sam and Jesse had some wishes they wanted to send, and I'll let them do that before I go. First up is Samantha, and then Jessica.
Hi, Vava. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for being such a positive light in all of our lives. I love and miss you so much. I hope you have the best day ever. Love you.
I think one of my absolute favorite stories or memories with Vava is always making the cookies at Christmas time. We always have such a blast, and it's been fun now having Georgia and Violet come in, and I taught them how to put flour on their cheeks as warrior paint, and just all the fun memories from growing up and doing it. And now I get to come home and have these wonderful moments with her, and it's always so precious. And we get to hang out and dance and sing Christmas carols and just talk about life, and it's always my favorite part of Christmas. So happy Mother's Day, Vava. I love you and miss you so, so much.
Wow. Well, that brings us to number 6, and that's me. And I promise I won't keep you too much longer. And for those of you who stayed and listened this long, thank you so much. I just want to say a great big thank you to Mom. I've been having the time of my life just going through all the stories with her, and as we started this podcast. And one of my favorite memories is actually just listening to my mom tell stories. But I have 2 specific stories that I wanted to talk about. The first one is there's a little bit of gap between Tom and myself, a little over 3 years, and almost 4. And the boys were teasing me one time, and they were calling me the mistake. Yeah, you're a mistake. You're a mistake. And I got upset, and I went inside, and I'm crying, and I go to my mom, and I said, she goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I said, "Well, they keep saying that I'm a mistake." And she goes, "Oh, Philip, honey, they were all mistakes." And the second story is we all get our kind of sense of humor from our mother. And one of the things we love to do is to make other people miserable. And not in a bad way. Well, maybe this one was. But I love to scare people. And I love to see them jump. And it makes me giggle. And I think it's just one of the most fun things you can do. I swear that I will probably die of a heart attack by somebody revenge scaring me. But let me explain. So when we were kids, we lived quite a ways from our school. And Mom, on rainy days, would pile us all into this green station wagon, the big old Plymouth station wagon. Some of the most fun we had was sliding around in the back, because in the old Plymouth, we called it the beast. When you put the seat down so you could put stuff in the car. So it used to have like, I think there was like 3 seats in the front, 3 seats in the middle, and there was like I forget what they called it, like a rumble seat or something like that in the back that kind of faced out the back. So when you put that seat down, it wasn't carpeted. It was like a metal finish on it. So for fun, sometimes Mom would let us slide around, and she would take corners extra quick, and your clothing on the metal would really slide, so you'd go flopping all around. I think one point I actually got a black eye when I went into the front seat from it, but that wasn't the other story I wanted to tell. So the idea of scaring people or causing misery to other people and getting a kick out of it. On rainy days, Mom used to pile us into this green station wagon and drive us to Monsignor Holler, which was, I think it was about a mile away of a walk. So when it was raining, it was really nice that she would do that for us. But some of the fun on that ride was the water that pooled on the side of the road. If Mom could line it up just right and catch some poor unsuspecting kid walking by, she would just let the car drift over and just absolutely soak these kids with the spray from the station wagon as we drove by, laughing our heads off. And Mom would pretend that it was this big accident, and we had a lot of fun with that. Sounds kind of mean when I say it out loud, but it was a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you, Mom. You are a light in all of our lives. You show us unconditional love, especially for some of the stupid crap that we do. And we just can't appreciate you enough. So we hope you enjoyed this. I had a great time putting it all together and being the curator of this experiment. You are appreciated, adored, and loved, and are an inspiration to all of us. We love you, Mom, and we really don't know where we would be without you. So until next time, taming stushki se. Okay, bye. See ya.
Stories with Vavo. Stories with Vavo. Listen to 'em all. We got those stories with Vavo. She was born in Rome, and her stories are the best.